Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you Africa's greatest legends and folktales. Today, we journey to West Africa, nearly 800 years into the past, to the great empire of Mali. This is the story of Sundiata Keita, the boy who could not walk, yet rose to become the legendary Lion King of Mali. His story is one of destiny, perseverance, and leadership, passed down for centuries by griots, the keepers of African history. Sit back, relax, and let the epic begin. Long before Sundiata was born, the royal court of Mali received a prophecy. The soothsayers told King Magan Konfata, "You will marry an ugly woman, and she will give birth to a son. Though weak at first, he will rise to become the greatest king Mali has ever known." Soon after, hunters brought a woman named Sogolen Keju to the king. She was not beautiful by traditional standards, with a hunched back and unusual features. But Magan remembered the prophecy, and he married her. In time, she gave birth to a boy, Sundiata. The prophecy had begun to unfold. But when Sundiata was born, he could not walk. As years passed, he remained crawling on the ground, unable to stand. Other children mocked him, and even his father's other wives whispered, "How can this crippled boy ever be king?" Sogolen, his mother, suffered many insults. Yet she never gave up hope. She believed her son's destiny was greater than anyone could imagine. One day, after a cruel insult from a rival queen, Sundiata's mother wept. Sundiata, seeing her pain, said, "Mother, do not cry. Today, I shall walk." He called for a blacksmith to forge the heaviest iron rod. With trembling arms, he pulled himself up. The earth shook. The rod bent and snapped in two. But Sundiata stood tall for the very first time. From that day, no one doubted the strength within him. But destiny is never easy. When King Magan died, rival factions in the court rose against Sogolen and her son. They were forced into exile, wandering across kingdoms. Though far from home, Sundiata grew stronger. He trained with hunters, learned wisdom from elders, and earned respect from kings across West Africa. Wherever he went, people whispered, "This boy has the heart of a lion." Meanwhile, a cruel sorcerer king named Soumaro Kante rose to power in Mali. He conquered kingdoms, enslaved people, and terrorized the land. The people of Mali cried out for a savior. And word spread of the exiled prince who was destined to return. Messengers came to Sundiata. "Your homeland suffers under Soumaro. Return, son of destiny. Lead us to freedom." Sundiata gathered allies from the kingdoms he had visited in exile. Hunters, warriors, and kings pledged their support. His army grew strong, united under his banner. Before battle, griots sang his praises. Sundiata, the lion's child. Sundiata, who bends iron rods. Sundiata, who will restore Mali. The time had come for the boy who once could not walk to march at the head of an army. The final confrontation came at the Battle of Kerina in 1235. Soumaro Kante, the sorcerer king, appeared invincible. He wore magical armor, and every arrow or spear bounced off him. His enemies trembled, for he could not be harmed by ordinary weapons. But Sundiata, wise and prepared, had learned of Soumaro's secret. A rooster spur, crafted into an arrow, could pierce his magic. As the armies clashed, drums thundered across the plains. Swords clashed, shields broke, warriors roared. In the chaos, Sundiata took aim with his enchanted arrow. It struck Soumaro. Wounded, the sorcerer fled, his powers broken. His army scattered, and Mali was free at last. Sundiata had fulfilled his destiny. After victory, Sundiata united the fractured kingdoms. He declared himself Mansour, the emperor, and founded the great empire of Mali. Under his rule, Mali became one of the wealthiest and most powerful empires in the world. Trade flourished across the Sahara. Cities like Timbuktu and Niani grew into centers of knowledge and culture. The griots sang, "Sundiata, the lion who walks. Sundiata, the King of Kings. He gave Mali strength, unity, and pride. His legacy lived for centuries, inspiring future leaders and generations to come. The story of Sundiata Keita teaches us that destiny cannot be denied. Even the weakest child, mocked and doubted, can rise to greatness with perseverance, courage, and wisdom. From a boy who could not walk to the Lion King of Mali, Sundiata's journey reminds us that true strength is not just in the body, but in the spirit. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history and legend. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more African epics. And tell me in the comments, which part of Sundiata's story inspired you the most. Until next time, remember the griot's words, the story lives on as long as it is told.